The night he ate her food, he stripped himself naked, climbed the palace roof, and started barking like a dog. Chinedu was there when it happened. I saw the palace guard struggle to bring him down. I saw the queen crying, begging him to come inside. But he had already gone mad. They said it was spiritual attack. Others said he had been poisoned. But I knew the truth. Because years before he became king, I was there the night he was initiated. Let me tell you the story, exactly as it happened. His name was Madu. Back then, he was just a poor trader in Umu-Ik in the eastern part of Nigeria. Nothing special. He sold clothes in the market, slept on a mattress on the floor, and barely had enough to eat. But he was hungry for wealth. Not the kind of hunger that makes you hustle harder. No. Madu wanted fast money. Big money. The kind that makes people bow when you walk into a room. He got tired of being poor. Tired of hearing next week from people who owed him money. Tired of being disrespected by women who didn't even look twice at him. One night, he followed a man called Is into the forest. Is was feared in the town. Nobody knew exactly what he did, but everyone said his hands were not clean. He never lacked anything, and people whispered that he belonged to something. He told Madu, if you want to be rich, really rich, then come with me. But you must be ready. What you receive, you can never throw away. That night, I was there. I followed them as the errand boy. I carried the black goat. I held the bag with the items. I kept quiet. We walked deep into the forest, to a place people call the Shrine of Ezioku, the Spirit of Truth. Old trees surrounded the shrine. The air was heavy. It smelled of blood, smoke, and something I can't describe. 3 men in red cloth waited for us. Madu was told to kneel down. The priest spoke in tongues. They slaughtered the goat. They washed his feet in the blood. Then they gave him the rules. They told him, you will become wealthy. Your name will open doors. You will sit with kings and later become one. But you must never, never eat or taste any food prepared by any woman who loves you. Not your wife. Not your mother. Not your daughter. If you do, all your riches will vanish. You will run mad overnight. You will crawl like an animal. Madu didn't ask questions. He agreed. He made the oath. He licked blood from the knife. From that night on, his life changed. Within 2 years, Madu became a millionaire. No one knew how. He stopped coming to the market. He moved to Abuja. He built houses. Cars. People started calling him chief. Then came politics. By 2010, he returned to his hometown and contested for the kingship. The old king had died without a son, and the people believed the rich man should lead them. Madu became Oba Madu of Umu-Ik Kingdom. He was 42 years of age then. I became one of his domestic staff. That's how I ended up living in the palace for 8 years. That's how I saw everything. The queen, Vanessa, was his university sweetheart. Beautiful woman. Calm. Always smiling. She had no idea what her husband was into. She loved to cook for him. Every morning she'd wake up early, tie her wrapper, and prepare his food with her own hands. She believed that food cooked with love keeps a marriage strong. But Oba Madu never touched it. Not once. At first, I thought it was just one of those kingly habits. You know, eating only what the palace chef prepares. But then I noticed something strange. He had a secret bowl. Every night, after everyone had gone to bed, Oba Madu would go into his private chamber, lock the door, and eat from a small clay bowl. The contents were always dark. Thick. Black, like burnt oil. No aroma. He never allowed anyone near that room at night. Not even the queen. One day, curiosity almost killed me. I peeked through the curtain crack. He wasn't eating food. He was drinking something, slowly, whispering chants between each sip. That was when I remembered the words from the forest. I realized he has kept the oath. It was Queen Vanessa's 40th birthday. She decided to make a special meal herself, of oha and pounded yam. She wanted to surprise the king and show him how much she still cared. I tried to stop her. Your Majesty, maybe the chef should prepare it. No, Chinedu, she said. Today, it has to be me. She cooked all day. She dressed like a new bride. She brought the food to his chamber that evening. Oba Madu looked surprised. He smiled, kissed her on the forehead. And for the first time, he said, "Thank you." He took one spoon. One. That was all. Then he froze. His hand started shaking. He dropped the spoon. His eyes turned white for a second. He stood up, walked to the mirror, stared at himself. Then he started laughing. It was not a normal laugh. It was dry, loud, crazy. He stripped his wrapper, opened the door, ran into the palace compound. Then he got on all fours and began barking like a dog. The guards tried to hold him down. He beat one of them hard. He ran into the market square that night, still naked, howling. The elders gathered. The priest was called. But nothing worked. His properties were seized within weeks. His accounts froze. Everything vanished. Queen Vanessa locked herself in her room for days. She kept asking, "What did I do wrong?" She didn't understand. She thought she had poisoned him by mistake. She didn't know that love was the poison. 3 years passed. People had forgotten about Oba Madu. The palace was abandoned, the title left empty. Rumors flew around, some said he had died, others claimed he had run to Ghana. But one rainy morning, the elders of Umuig gathered again. They had a problem. The town was falling apart. The market had been robbed 3 times in 1 month. No rain for their crops. Strange sickness moving through children like wildfire. One elder, Ava, stood up during the meeting and said, "The gods are punishing us. We dethroned a king who made a mistake, but a king all the same." Another added, "He broke a rule, yes, but we don't know what that rule was. Maybe we judged too fast." That was when Mama Neka, an old woman with white hair and blind eyes, said, "If a curse begins in the bush, it must end in the bush. Bring Madu home." A group of brave men were sent to the outskirts of town to retrieve Madu. He didn't fight them. He was calm, but still not fully normal. He kept whispering, "Is did this? Is did this?" They brought him back to the palace. That night, the chief priest performed a ritual. They gave Madu goat blood mixed with palm oil. They washed his feet with a black soap from the river. Then, they locked him inside the shrine of ancestors for 7 nights. No food. No water. Just herbs and smoke. On the 7th night, they opened the shrine. He walked out. Calm. Quiet. Eyes clear. Oba Madu was back. The palace was full. Every elder, every titled man, every curious villager sat down to hear what the king had to say. He sat on a stool. No crown. No robe. Just a white wrapper. Then, he spoke. His voice was heavy but slow, like someone carrying a bag of stones in his chest. Is was my friend. My blood brother. He came to me when I had nothing. He said, "Let me show you where men become gods." I followed him into the forest. I wanted wealth. I wanted women to kneel. I wanted cars, houses, fear. But the gods of the shrine don't give for free. They asked for my loyalty. They gave me 3 rules. But the most painful one was, never eat food made with love. Especially by a woman who truly loves you. If I obeyed, my wealth would multiply. If I broke it, everything would vanish. Madness would follow. He paused. His hands trembled slightly. I obeyed for 15 years. But I got tired. My wife? Vanessa, she meant well. She didn't know. That day, I was weak. I told myself one spoon won't hurt. But that spoon was my destruction. Then came the twist. Obamadu continued. After my madness began, he never came to visit. Not once. I was the one suffering, but he vanished like a ghost. 2 months later, while hiding near the river, I saw him. With 2 other men. Initiating them, just like he did to me. They held a black cock, a mirror, and kola nut. Same shrine. Same words. Then I knew. He wasn't just a friend. He was a recruiter. He didn't care about me. He needed my soul for his own rank to grow. The palace was silent. Some people gasped. Others looked around, confused. Obamadu wiped his eyes. He used me. And the gods allowed it. That very night, the youth of the village stormed Isa's compound. But he was gone. His house was empty. The roof had fallen in. The windows were sealed with red cloth. His last wife had gone mad and was living under a bridge in Lagos. They searched for him for weeks. Nothing. The only thing they found in the house was a shrine hidden under the floorboards, covered in human hair, animal skulls, and photographs of 5 rich men who had all lost their wealth mysteriously. One of the photos was Madu's. Obamadu didn't return to the throne immediately. He took time to heal. Spent months walking through the village barefoot, apologizing to people. He even went to the widow of one of the palace guards he once beat during his madness. He donated land for farming. Built a free clinic. And for the first time, he ate his wife's food in public. No madness followed. Just tears. That day, he said, I broke free not because I was strong, but because the same love they told me to avoid was what saved me. My name is Chinedu. I was the palace worker who saw it all. From the night in the forest, to the madness, to the rebirth. I now live in Lagos, but sometimes I go back to Umuik. And when I see King Madu, now a quiet man who walks to the market with his wife, I remember one thing. The fastest wealth is not always the safest. Because when you eat from a spirit's plate, you never taste peace again. So if you ever meet a powerful man who refuses to eat his wife's food, don't laugh. Don't ask. Just greet him and walk away. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more African folktale stories.